Hi everyone, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Celine.
And today we are talking about school.
Yeah.
Okay, so for a lot of people, school's already started.
Mm-hmm.
And when this episode's come out, our school would already be started. But for us, school's starting in 2 days.
Yep.
So on Tuesday, this past Tuesday.
So yeah, what are your thoughts?
Okay, my initial thoughts just about school in general was that I have a love-hate relationship with school. I feel like everyone does. Of course, there's
not necessarily.
Yeah,
some
but
people just hate it.
Yeah, that's true. But I think like it definitely is good just to like help me stay like. It gives me like stuff to do, honestly, so I'm not like bored all the time.
Yeah.
Summer has been very boring this year. I don't do much, so it's good for me to like have things to do and like be in clubs and like you know be able to talk to people. I feel like social life is kind of hard when you're not constantly around people. So that's like a good thing to school, but it's also like the stress of school, the drama of school, the just like everything in school also has like a downside to it, and the social aspect is like there's a lot of drama, and then like the school aspect that keeps you busy is also kind of stressful and gives you anxiety, and sometimes it keeps you too busy to the point where you're like sacrificing sleep over a test, which is not good.
Yeah, exactly. There are definitely like downsides and upsides, and there's a lot that goes into school. It's more than like it was built for the purpose of like learning, but it's more complex than that because there's social life and there's friends and there's all these different things you have to navigate and clubs and stuff. So that makes it like 10 times more complicated than just like you go there to learn. It becomes, and you spend so much of your time there that it becomes like a second like home. And if you don't like it, then it like can be terrible. So I think it's important to like try if you can to build a good relationship with like school, find positive people, like, which is harder said than done. Like I feel like people say that, but it's
easier
like,
said than done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I actually
harder
like,
done than said.
Yeah, I agree. Like actually, like wholeheartedly agree. It's like it's really hard just to like be in all of that and measure everything out, and like Celine said, it's like important to create a good foundation towards like starting off strong. But like, how would you say people do that? Like, what is the steps you would take to like start off with like finding people with you and like making a good impression? Like, what would you say is a good?
So I would say take any opportunity to like get to know people around you and like be nice and like ask them questions about their life, like try to get to know them, like introduce yourself and like just be nice to people. And I know it's hard to talk to people, especially people you don't know, but like if you can find a common interest or find something to talk about, then like keep that conversation going and keep talking about it so you can learn about them, and then that will help you like build friendships. So I think like finding friends with interests similar to yours, or like just finding things you two can talk about or something, which is difficult because there are a lot of opportunities where you can't necessarily talk to people, or it's just hard to like open up to people. But like if you're in a group project, like try to like learn their name and like talk to them outside of just like the work, which is difficult, but like trying to get to know people, I would say, and asking questions.
I think being respectful of everyone is just like definitely really good. But also I would say another thing is like if you're introverted and that's like hard for you to do, because I know like a lot of people that like don't feel comfortable doing that. First thing I would say is like it's okay to step out of your comfort zone. Like it's good sometimes to like take that extra step and be uncomfortable, because being uncomfortable, like there's no reward without any risk. So like being uncomfortable and putting yourself out there sometimes can be really good, but at the same time it's like important to know that there's such thing as too uncomfortable. Like you don't need to change who you are or reach that level of uncomfort where it's like not even just like risk, it's just like unhealthy and you don't feel safe. And finding that balance is like hard, obviously, but you'll find it eventually. And it's like not one of those, school's like one of those things that there's like a recipe, like you go in and you like do this and do that and you'll be fine. It's like one of those things that every single person has to figure out for themselves. Otherwise it's like there's no set way, there's an exception to every rule, and like not everyone's gonna have the same path. So finding it for yourself is going to take a while, and figuring out like what classes are right for you, what your interests are, and what your friend group is going to take a really long time probably to like gnash out. But in the end of the day, like it will be worth it. I really think like joining clubs is a great way to start out with the process.
So I feel like in elementary school and middle school I never really did clubs. I did do book club in 6th and 7th grade, which honestly was great. Like I loved it, to be honest. And I made friends through that. But as far as like other clubs, I didn't really do much. And then in high school I joined like 2 different clubs. And I feel like that was the highlight of my year. Like that was the best part of my year. And I'm so glad I did that, just because it gave me something outside of school that's also connected to school and people in the school.
Yeah, like I made so many friends through clubs. Like the communities you make in clubs are so different, because I feel like everyone in that smaller space is just like so much more respectful and like not only respectful, but they're just like so much more connected to you. Like, and everyone feel like just feels like they're
people are more engaged too, because in class a lot of the times no one wants to talk and stuff, but I feel like in clubs there's more of an engaging atmosphere where you can talk to people, and it's kind of like you're all this big group and you're all together. And so I think that's a great way to kind of start meeting people, is through like extracurriculars, including sports too. Like I don't do any sports, but I do know that like
my sports team was such a good community. Like I play tennis, and our tennis team was so like it was like such a good community just to be a part of. And that's like, if you're not interested in doing any other clubs, like you're not interested in doing like art club or like speech and debate, you can definitely join a sport, which that can be really fun.
Yeah, vice versa too. If you're not interested in sports, that's okay. And trying something new, even if you're like, I'm not sure, like this seems like something I might not like, but you might love it too, so you never know. And I would also say, like, if you can choose the classes in your schedule, like choosing classes that would actually engage you, instead of just classes where you get an easy A, or classes where you're just, getting through it just because you have to take it. Yeah. But if you can choose courses that actually are like, wow, this is interesting, or they, like, aid you in future endeavors, like if you want to be, like, a doctor, like I know Hannah's taking like a biomed course, something like that she's interested in. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think just keeping school and like making it a part of your interest is like a really great way to go. And it can definitely help school like be a lot more enjoyable. I think school can be like hard for a lot of people. It can give people a lot of anxiety, and I think like the amount of drama that goes on in school is just crazy.
I feel like there's a lot of drama within friend groups and within like
relationships.
I don't know, like romantic relationships. I don't know what it is, but it's like the hotspot for like so much drama.
Yeah, because like when you put that many people in literally like a pot, there's
always gonna be conflict.
Someone's gonna stir the pot,
and so many people get like stressed out because of that. And I think a good way is to kind of like avoid that is to like make sure you're not in like some toxic group where everyone's just like first of all, don't start drama yourself on purpose. Like don't be that person. Just because you're like bored.
No one likes that.
Don't surround yourself with people who do that either, because and build like stronger connections with individual people too, so you can get to know them. It doesn't always have to be like one huge group, because that's like the hotspot for drama, but obviously friend groups are great. They can just, also be.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people feel pressure to join certain friend groups where there is a lot of drama just because they're like the popular kids, or they're this or they're that. But like honestly, at the end of the day, in 20 years, are you gonna think about like, are you gonna care if you were popular in high school? Like no one's gonna care.
If you do what get you anywhere. Like
if you do what's comfortable to you, and like of course stepping out of your comfort zone is great, but you have to like know when it's like too far. And in terms of like people you're surrounding yourself with, there is like a boundary, and I feel like a lot of people cross that in hopes to be popular or whatever. But it's important just to like recognize that like in 20 years it's not going to matter if you're popular, no matter how important it seems in the present. Like no one's going to care in the future, so like just do whatever you're comfortable with, not what other people want you
to. Find people that you want to be friends with, not like based on their status or
that
something.
You think you should be friends
with. Exactly.
And that being said, I think that ends up
we
our
should move on
first
to the second half. All right, so stay tuned. Bye. So let's get talking.
Let's get a talking.
So, okay.
What have been like the hardest parts of school for you in the past?
One of the hardest parts is like adjusting to like being in school for like 7 hours and waking up. And but I feel like
I totally agree. I thought you were gonna say something like the stress of like and like the mental pressure, but it's just like I just like don't like to wake up.
no, it's true. Like
No,
I
it's so
hate
true,
waking
though.
up. Like I swear, I was gonna say social connections, and I'm like, you know what? I just hate.
Let's be
waking up.
honest here.
Let's be real here. Like when you sleep in until like 10 in the morning, and then you're expected to wake up at like 7 or like 6:30. That's not realistic.
And also
And then
I'm
you
just
have
like not a morning person.
Yeah, especially because I
At
stay
all.
up too late because I can't make myself go to bed earlier. So like, even if I stay up till like 11 and I wake up at like 7, I'm still
I go to bed at 9:30 and wake up at 7:10 and I'm still tired every day.
Wait, 10.
It's like 10 hours of sleep pretty much.
How do you sleep that much? I'm
I am
jealous.
like a sleep heathen. I need sleep. Like
Yeah, she's in such a bad. Like if she doesn't sleep, she's like so mean. Yeah,
I don't know.
But you always sleep. Like most of the time, you get good sleep.
Yeah.
But like
Just like the
occasionally,
one day
that
where I
one
don't.
day a year, it's like.
And then the one day where I get like 13 hours of sleep, I'm like the happiest
Oh my
person
god!
alive.
Yeah, I can always tell. I'm like, what's wrong? with you?
No, like before we were like really good friends in like 6th grade, you're like, you seem so happy today, and I'm like, yeah, I got like so much sleep last night.
I was like, what's going on?
What's wrong with you? Yeah, sleep
Um,
is very important to a Han.
Yeah. No, I mean that's a good thing. You should prioritize sleep. I just feel like a lot of people like either procrastinate, me, and I start doing homework at like 10, which is probably
I
not
do
good.
procrastinate, but I don't think I'm that bad with it. Like I know people who are much worse. I just feel like my procrastination is just like stupid stuff.
Okay.
Actually, no, it's not. Sometimes I don't know. Certain things I never procrastinate, and then other things I like procrastinate sometimes. It like just doesn't. Make
That's
sense.
fair. I feel like I
But-
procrastinate like things I don't want to do, which is most things. Honestly,
Honestly, fair enough.
I mean, like,
Okay, yeah, but like busy work is so bad.
Oh, I
Like,
procrastinate that, but I don't care. I mean, I feel like I procrastinate like these like hard assignments that require like brain energy. Like I'll like be like, oh, oops, I have a math test. I better study until like 3 in the morning.
I think a bad habit I have is like when I'm doing homework, I always have to have something else going on. Like
Really?
I'll have to like be
Okay,
listening
like
to
music?
something.
Yeah.
No, not music.
Oh, really?
I don't know why music distracts me, but like TV doesn't.
What?
So I'll watch
That's
TV
weird.
while doing homework.
I don't get that. Because I'm the opposite. Like, either I could do homework in silence. I mean, it's not my favorite, but I can do it. I could do it, like, listening to, like, piano music, which is my favorite. And then I can also do it, like, listening to, like, pop music, like Taylor Swift or something. Math with Taylor Swift.
Oh,
That is
that's
my
good.
reason.
But
Yes.
for me, I think that like I'm not that much of a procrastinator, but what I do is I will take way too long an assignment that does not need that much time. Like
Oh my god, you know what I do? Okay, this is kind of scary. No, it's not. But, okay, so if there's an assignment, and I, like, you know when you know the assignment's not that important, and you could, like, do it in, like, 20 minutes, but you know you're gonna take, like, 2 hours to do it, right?
yeah.
Well, I, like, wait until the very last minute, so I
you
have no
purposely
choice.
forget.
Yeah, so, like, I force myself to do it in, like, 20 minutes, and it's fine.
But here's the
You
thing
know?
with me, my stress about that would like not allow me to do that. Like
See,
I would
do
get
it, and it
too
works.
anxious about that to even do that. But for me, what I do is I like watch TV in the background, and so like an assignment that should take half an hour takes me 2 hours,
Oh,
which is not
okay.
good. And
Yeah.
I don't think I'm terrible at time management, but when it comes to that, I'm terrible at time management.
I can't, like, watch TV and, like, do work. Like, I've tried it before, but I just want to watch TV, you know? Like, I don't want to be doing work. Unless it's, like, something really dumb, like an online gym course. Because, you know,
Yeah.
that is different.
But yeah, I totally get it. And like, what would you say, like, besides like listening to music and like stuff, what would you say is like tips to help with like procrastination and time management?
I would say for procrastination, just, like, telling yourself that, like, if you get it done now, you can actually do what you want later. Because, like, you're going to add more stress because even if you're doing something that you want now, you're thinking about how you have to do the homework, which, like, demeans the experience.
Like you
but,
can't
like,
fully enjoy
yeah,
it.
it, like, demeans the experience so much when you could be, like, enjoying it, like, times 10 because you, like, are relieved.
Yeah.
So, like, thinking of that, but then also, like, just doing it once, like trying it out, like doing your homework when you get home and feeling like, wow, like
I'm so free.
Yeah, like I'm actually free. And then for, what was the other things I was supposed to talk about? I don't remember.
Oh, time management.
Time management, not my finest skill. I mean, I don't think I necessarily do have like the worst time management. I think I just spend too long on things. But sometimes like what I do is just, I'm like, I don't know, I just kind of try to do it as fast as I can. I like pretend that I need to finish this in like 30 minutes, and then I do it, and I figure, like, if it's not my best work, I keep trying. But if I feel like for some assignments, you don't need to spend 2 hours when it could take you 30 minutes. For some assignments, like, you want to have a good essay, so you should spend a lot of time in that. But if it's like some busy work packet, it's like,
I'm here to tell you right now, do not put 100% of effort into every single assignment you do.
Don't.
And that sounds counterintuitive because, like, you're supposed to try your best, but there's some assignments in school that literally won't teach you anything. They won't do anything for you. They're not going to grade it. Like, you don't need to put that much effort. And that took me a long time to learn because I would always freak out and be like, oh, I should put my effort into this. And I'd realize that someone did like 10 times less than I did, and they got full credit.
I got so mad in 6th grade in science class. We had this presentation where we had to pick an animal and do like a presentation about it. I think I had like 30 slides, like so many words on the slide. I stayed up until like midnight every night doing that. I spent so long on citations. I went back in my history, found every single website I used. Oh my god, you have no idea. Everyone's was like
5 slides long.
5 slides, and everyone got an 100, and I was
every
so
single
mad.
person.
I was so mad.
I was on the same boat. We were in the same.
Let me tell you something.
Teacher.
You don't need to spend 10 hours on citations. Okay, like just find like 2 sources that you used and just.
And this sounds like kind of like bad to say, but you really don't need to put that much work into everything. And it's definitely important to prioritize the things that you do need to put more effort in and not. And something that could help with that is keeping a planner and like keeping 2 separate lists. One thing that you know is going to take longer and you know you need to put an extra effort for. Maybe it's because it's for an AP class. Maybe you know that teacher's an extra strict grader. And, you know, just kind of like feeling out the teacher's like grading is also important. But then like keeping those 2 different priority lists will help you get rid of the main priorities first and then like the smaller like irrelevant things later.
I mean, actually a technique that I use, which works for me, I don't know if it works for everyone, but like doing like a quarter of an assignment and then going to another and then going to another, like that helps me. And then finishing the rest later, like switching between assignments like every like 20 minutes and something instead of doing the entire thing helps me, because I feel like when I'm doing one assignment, I'm just stressing about how I have like 5 others, but if I'm switching between them, then I feel like I'm like
you're progressively getting it. And I think that's a definitely good idea for people who have a shorter attention span too, because it's like you're constantly changing, so it's not like you're on the same thing. For me personally, I don't think I have a great attention span, but that would scare me too much to switch between assignments.
Really? I don't know. I just feel like I do. Like, I'll be, like, studying for math, and then I'll be like, oh, let's do this geography assignment. Oh, let's do some debate research, you know, like, throw everything in there. And it works for me, so.
Yeah, I think that's a good strategy for a lot of people. For me personally, I kind of just, I, like, prioritize, like I was talking about. I do my priority list. I don't actually do that, but I'm going to, hopefully. But, like, I keep it in my mind, like, which one's more important. And I think writing it out would actually probably be better.
I know, like, I don't need to even think about it. I just know which assignments are more important than others. Like, because just based on the teacher and based on, like, their grading style, based on, like, how much I'm learning from that assignment, because some assignments, I feel like you should put effort into assignments that are either helping you practice a skill or, like, helping you learn or, like, something like that. Whereas if it's just, like, let's be real, a stupid assignment, because we all get those, then it's like, you know, do it, obviously. You don't want your grade to flunk, but you don't have to spend, like, 10 hours when it's...
For me, like, prioritizing, what I do is I just, like, cut off the main priority assignment and finish that first, and then I do the little assignments, or vice versa. Sometimes if I know that I need a break, and I just do the smaller assignments first.
To be honest, I like doing the smaller ones first, because I hate having a big one and then knowing I have smaller ones. I like getting rid of the smaller ones, so then I have just one left, and it's very liberating to have one thing to do.
And it is different for everyone. Like, it depends.
For me, that's what I do, but everyone else is different.
I think if you need a break from doing, like, a lot of work, just doing smaller assignments first could, like, help you de-stress, because you could, like, watch TV at the same time or do whatever.
Yeah.
And then do the big one when you're rested, which I think is a good strategy too. It honestly, there's so many different strategies that work for different people, so you just really need to figure out what works for you.
Exactly. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I have to say. Do you have anything more to add?
Just good luck on your school year.
Yeah.
We hope you do well and find good friends and have fun this year.
Yeah, have fun.
All right. So that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for more. Follow us. We are _youth.org. We are _youth.org on all social media, and our website is weare-youth.org. Email us or DM us for any questions, and stay tuned.
All right, bye.